Hey team, the purpose of this teaching video is to explain to you how to use Sketch.io. Now, if the link is not waiting for you inside Google Classroom, then this is the way that you would find it. Click on the plus symbol, sketch.io, enter, and then it will take you to this resource. I'm going to use the Sketchpad, and I want to work in English, so these are two tools that might be important for you. I'm already in Sketch.io, so I'm just going to close this tab. I don't need this anymore. When I come back to this resource, it usually shows me what I was working on last. So if I want to design a new project, the plus symbol is right here. When you click on the plus symbol, it's going to ask you what size do you want your next project to be, and what do you want the background to look like. So I don't need any of these other possibilities. For the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to use blank. I'm going to click on blank one time, and then I'm going to click the word create. So now I am right here in a blank resource. The computer that I'm using comes with a stylus, so I'm able to hold something that looks like a pen or a pencil, and I can draw on my computer quite nicely. If you have a touch screen, your finger would be a great tool that you could use to draw. If you're limited to just a mouse, then that is totally okay. Feel free to use a mouse. When you come here, it will usually default right here to where it says tools. Later on in my lesson, I'm going to take you down to layers, and I'm going to show you this amazing resource right here. But for right now, I'm going to start in tools. And in my own opinion, I don't know that a feather is the one item that comes to my mind most quickly when it comes to drawing. But the feather right here is actually the tool that you're going to need if you want to draw something. And calligraphy is not the tool that I want to use when it comes to draw. I actually want pencil. And then the other one that I'm going to use most often right here is paintbrush. Now, there are lots of other great resources on here, and I recommend that you utilize those for the purpose of this teeny tiny lesson. I'm only going to capitalize on pencil and paintbrush. Those are the two tools that I'm going to use. I'm going to click right here where it says pencil one time, and you'll notice how it changed the feather to a pencil. I'm going to stay away from fill. This is not something I'm going to teach in today's lesson. Right down here where it says outline, this is important. This is going to change the color of the pen that you are using. I'm going to start with green grass. So I'm going to click one time right here inside of this black rectangle. Over here on the right-hand side, it shows me options. I'm going to stay away from linear, radial, and pattern. I'm just going to stay right here in color. I'm going to start with green grass. I'm going to click over here where it shows green. Sometimes this little triangle malfunctions and it doesn't want to move for me very well. In order to stimulate that to move, you're more than welcome to click on any one of these, and then it's helpful from here. You can move this or adjust it as needed. The color that you are moving to or will use inside of your pen is on display right here, and it's also on display over here. So I want something in the green family. Not only do I want something in the green family, but I want something dark. You'll notice that I have clicked on this little bubble and I'm moving it all over the place, and you can make it lighter so it's over white. Down, down, down is going to make it black. I don't want it black. I would prefer that it's more of a rich dark green color. Once I've located a rich dark green that I'm satisfied with, I'm going to let go. I'm going to ignore this area over here, and then I'm going to use my pen. You can see my pen, and then this is where I can start drawing. And then I can draw that green grassy area with my pen. If I want to, I can add little accents along the way. So I want to capitalize on maybe some tufts of grass. And then I don't want it to be just white. I want to fill it in with a light green color. So instead of taking my mouse or my pen and scribbling in that entire area, this is where I'm going to move to the paintbrush. So up here in the pencil area, I'm going to click one time. I'm going to come over to the paintbrush. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move from a dark green color to a lighter green color. So if I scoot up, 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 then it's going to make it lighter. Now, two other things that might be important for you. The size of your paintbrush may or may not be important to you. Feel free to work with that. And you'll kind of see what it looks like on display in this little peekaboo box. And the amount of blur that you have on your paintbrush is going to show up here. So I want it somewhat blurry. I'll leave it at 20%. I'm going to use the size of my brush at 24 pixels. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hold the index finger down on my mouse. And I'm going to come along and I'm going to paint the grass in here. In just a second, I'm going to show you what it looks like to take my green grassy paint and move it to the background. Because as you're watching, you might think, wow, Mrs. Culver, I can't believe you went through the process of drawing all those really nice tufts of grass, and then now we can't see it. This is one of the amazing things about Sketch.io. I can take something that I've already done and I can move it behind. So I'm now going to scoot my mouse up, 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 up over here to where it looks like there's 3 sheets of paper sitting on top of one another. I'm going to click one time. Every time I do something on the screen, it shows up here and it gives it the name based on the tool that I was using. So this paintbrush is the paintbrush that I put down here. You can actually click and then move it. Mrs. Culver, what did you do? You can actually come over here and click on this and then drag it and move it if you need to. That's another powerful thing about Sketch.io. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give Paintbrush a name. I'm going to click 2 times really quickly together. It's called a double click. Click, click. I'm going to click the backspace button on my computer and then I'm going to call this grass. And then I'm also going to add the word paint because I used the paint tool to add the grass, which is different from all those little sketches that I did. I'm going to press enter on my keyboard one time. After pressing enter on my keyboard one time, I'm going to come up here to where it says grass paint. I'm using my mouse. I'm going to click one time. I'm going to leave my index finger down. I'm going to drag it all the way down to the bottom. You'll kind of see how that red line is moving with me. It shows me the order that it's in. So if I let go right here, there are some pieces that are in the background that I can't see, but you'll see how some of those pieces have come up to the front. So I'm going to click, I'm going to drag my mouse down, and then I'm going to let go. So now you'll see how these other tufts of grass have popped up. Here's another powerful thing about Sketch.io. If I click on any one of these other items, it will not only identify what it is by illuminating it in yellow over here, it will also put a box around it. I can rotate it by clicking on one of those angled bits. I can also move it. If you need to adjust it or move it or make it larger or smaller, you have the ability to do that. What I'm doing is I'm clicking on the object in order for these little corner bits to appear. I am leaving my index finger down while sliding in and out, and this is how I can make that object larger or smaller. I can, using the hand, when the hand appears, that's the tool that lets me know when you leave your index finger down and you move it, then you're actually going to move the object instead of resizing the object. And then lastly, you can click on it one time and then press the delete or backspace button, and then you can also delete it as well. If it were important to you, you could come over here and say tuft of grass, or you can indicate just grass, or you can just leave it alone. You really don't have to go through the process of naming absolutely everything. Mrs. Culver, how do I get out of this area so that I can start making changes to my object? Well, over here where it says tools, you can click tools one time and that will take you back into here. So I don't want a paintbrush. Now I want a pencil. So I'm going to go back to the pencil. Instead of green, I want a brown color. Brown usually happens in the family of red, and it comes into a sort of a deep layer of brown near the blackish area is how you can achieve sort of that brownish color. So if you want to put a tree or a car or something in there, orange is also very friendly for the brown family. You can see how it comes into those deeper tones over here. And then if I want to, I can add a branch, and then I can sort of come in here and add the lower portion. If you want to draw some accents, maybe sort of the bark area, you can come in here, fill it in. And then maybe the tree that you're designing needs to have more than one tone of brown. So if you want to come back over here and then add in a second tone, sort of a lighter color, it might not be vivid and easy for you to see, but you as the artist know. And then with your pen, maybe you want the pen tool instead of the pencil tool. And with the pen, you can kind of see right here how there's a darker impact and then a lighter impact. Your strokes appear differently if you choose the pen versus the pencil. I utilized those just for the purpose of teaching. I'm going to click on the arrow. I'm going to identify the object. I'm going to press delete, identify the object by clicking delete. I just simply did those for the purpose of teaching. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to move into paintbrush. By moving into paintbrush, I'm going to choose a lighter tone. Or maybe you want to use more of a Dr. Seuss approach to your artwork, and maybe you want a pink tree. Don't feel like you only have to use colors that are very traditional. Choose the size of your paintbrush so that it's important for the work that you're doing. Blur it out as much as needed. Come back in here and then paint those tones in. You can always change the blur or the size midway through. Don't feel like you're obligated to the same size and the same blur tone all the way through. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the process of bringing this to the back like I did last time. I'm going to come over here to layers. All three of these paintbrushes are tree. I'm going to name it tree. I'm going to double click. I'm going to name this tree. Double click. I'm going to call this one tree. Now, I'm going to do something slightly different than what I did last time. I'm going to click this one. I'm going to hold the shift button down on my keyboard. I'm going to use the arrow button. So you'll notice how all three of these are yellow all at the same time. I'm going to click and then drag and move all three of these at the same time. Sometimes you have several items that you want moved all at the same time, and this is an easy way that lets you move those all at the same time. Now let's pretend that you want to duplicate something. If you want to duplicate something, you can come over here to the three dots where it says duplicate. You're going to get a copy of that. So whatever you duplicate, it's going to shoot all the way up to the top right here. So I'm just letting you know, if you do choose to duplicate something, then that will happen. A couple reasons why that might be helpful. Maybe you like it, like maybe you draw a wheel for a car and you're like, I'd like to have a couple more of those. That's one way that you can do that. Or another reason why this would be helpful is that if you want the intensity of a color to be a little bit darker, but you don't necessarily want to draw it all over again. Now, when I was over here earlier, you probably saw this eyeball popping up and you're like, why is that eyeball there? Well, this is why the eyeball is there. If you click on the eyeball, it's going to cause that item to disappear and then come back and disappear and then come back. So as an artist, if you're looking at this and you're like, I wonder what it would look like if that would disappear over here on grass. I wonder what it would look like if that disappeared. I don't necessarily want to delete it permanently forever, but man, what would it look like if it disappeared? So that is a tool that allows you to cause something to disappear or reappear. Now, in order to save your project, you can come down here and actually export your project by clicking export one time. It's up to you if you choose a JPEG or a PNG file, any one of these, whatever, it's up to you. By clicking on the Save JPEG one time, you'll notice that your project appears down here. And then from here, if you need to upload it to Google Classroom, you can. Maybe you would open up another tab, and then you can actually drag and drop your project into your Google Classroom in order to share it with your teacher. Team, thank you so much for paying attention to this teeny tiny presentation on Sketch.io. I hope that it was helpful for you. Have a great day.